I was like, all right, I gotta make sure this shit is good. I got a G on my hookah hour, like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Infectious is the rhythm. It gets inside your body, then your waist just starts to move. And then you get this feeling like no one's in here dancing on the floor but me.
Sit rocking it, rolling, move to the rhythm. Groove to the bass and the drums with precision. Speak your piece before I say mine and put my hands all on your waistline. And we rock the boat like Aaliyah. Oh my God, sweet black Jesus. Pin me to the wall like a Martin Luther King.
Yeah, what the fuck going on? It's your girl Steph and I'm back with another hookah hour. Today I got my guy G Samuels in the motherfucking building. Thanks for coming. He's a fire. Y'all know I like that word. Fire artist, songwriter. He's a man of many talents, okay? He's from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Yes.
All right, make sure y'all go show him some love. I'm gonna link everything in the description below. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys give me a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you know every single time that I post and you don't miss a thing. Period.
That works.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So you're an artist and a songwriter.
Yeah.
Your pen game is crazy.
I try.
Your pen game is crazy. I'm gonna talk a little bit first about how we met.
Okay, that's fine.
But I don't actually remember how we met. Do you remember? I remember seeing you
through Zio.
I remember that. I remember seeing you at, like, you know, gatherings and stuff like that. But the first time I ever saw you perform, I can't remember where it was, but all I know is I'm like, G makes music?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I had just recently met you. I think that was in like 2020.
No.
Or 2019. 20.
It has to be 2000, probably 2018. If it was a show that I performed, it had to be 2019 or 2018. One of them.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. Wow. Yeah, I just was like so blown away by it. Like, you're such a great performer on top of all of the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna dig into that though. We've been rocking for a little minute.
I could be wrong, but I feel like it has to be 2000.
We probably,
yeah. Let's go with 2019 or 2018. We'll bookmark that.
Okay, period. I like that. So ever since then, I've seen a lot of growth.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. I just want to give you your flowers while you're here, you know what I'm saying? I want to let the people know. He's so amazing. You're amazing at what you do. You really are. I just like really love everything that you put out. I know it hasn't been too much, you know, that you put out. You got a couple singles out, right? Do you have any projects coming up?
Yes and no. So I don't have, like, I do have something in the works, but except for the people around me, nobody knows when I'm going to drop something for my birthday. Okay. Which is October 14th. Okay. So
mark that down.
Yeah. Also, this has got another secret too. It's in Spanish.
What?
I don't speak Spanish, but I got and I'll share the music with you. But I basically got my friends to, like, I had this idea for stuff, and I was helping my friend who does make music in Spanish, and I was like, yo, I want to write these records and give them to somebody. But then I was just like, I don't feel like dealing with the up and down or back and forth struggle of finding somebody to write the songs for. Yeah. Writing the songs for them, then trusting that they're gonna actually put the songs out. Gotcha. Because you can write shit for people all the time, and then it just sits around. And it's like, I was like, okay, well, why don't I just do these? I did the reference. They helped me write the lyrics. I had ideas of what I wanted to say. I did all the melodies. I had ideas of what I wanted to say, and they just kind of helped me formulate my thoughts around, like, yo, this is what I want to say. They helped me formulate basically all my thoughts around the lyrics. So I'm like, yo, this is how I'm feeling, or this is what I'm experiencing. And then I also was like, if I say it in another language, it's almost kind of like an encrypted thing, because there are people that are going to know what I'm talking about, and there are people who aren't going to know what I'm talking about. And I thought that was kind of cool. Is where it's like, yeah, that's dope. This could be relatable to somebody, but not relatable to somebody else. Yeah. So yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I like it. It's cool. I actually finished recording today.
That is so
I got, like,
dope.
some other things to finish up, but
I was not expecting you to say that. Yeah. I'm so blown away. I'm like, yo, in Spanish. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. That's amazing. Oh, I'm excited to hear that. Oh, I'm so excited. Your music is always so different, right? And it's like just such a different vibe, like feel good music. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really love about it. So I'm definitely excited to hear that project and see how that's gonna, you know, come about, because that's really fire. That's amazing. But you haven't just grown a lot in the music world, you've grown a lot personally too. So I'm so proud of you for that. I see you working. You know, how many days have you been sober now?
I don't know. It's over 1,000, but I don't really.
That's
actually it'll
amazing.
Be 3 years in
3 years.
November 9th, I think. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So 3 years, November 9th.
That takes a lot of discipline.
Not really.
No?
No. It just, to me, I don't know, people make more of a deal out of it than I do. Right. Like, because I don't look at how many days I've been sober. Like, every now and then I check in. Like, sometimes if I was looking to hit a milestone, I was thinking, oh, I'm like 5 days away, or oh, I'm 10 days away. Yeah. Or oh, like, I'm almost at 1,000 days. It's 900 days or 9 something. But, like, I think when people hear it, they make a big deal out of it more so than I do. Because at this point, it's like, it's just everyday routine.
The lifestyle.
I just get up and go do it. Yeah. It's like.
But in the start of it, was it hard for you?
No, because I didn't hang out with any of my friends for like 3 months. Like I avoided going certain places where or being around my friends that I know would drink. And then after like 90 days, it was just kind of like
because you broke that. That's crazy. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. I remember when you hit your 1 year mark. I was like, damn. Because, you know, I mean, it's just like socially, like, you know, people like to just drink. Like me, I drink socially now. I used to drink a lot, but now it's just more so like, oh, like, you know, oh, Steph, here, have a shot. And I'm like, okay. But, like, I wasn't even planning on drinking. You know what I mean? So I can see where it would be, like, you know, easy to just take yourself out of that, you know? What made you want to become sober fully?
I think it was different reasons at different times. Like, I think when I first started, it was more so of like, okay, let me like, it's kind of like feeling like your life is a storm. And it's like, shit just came through and wrecked my life. Let me assess the damage, right? So at first it was just like, okay, like, if I stop drinking, I can like clear my mind. I can start thinking clearer. I can start thinking better. Then I can realize, okay, what is it that I need to work on? But as long as like I'm not in my right mind, even if it's for a weekend, right? It's just like my weekend just went to shit because I got a fucking headache. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. I'm grumpy. True. But I'm like, if I don't have those feelings or I don't have anything distracting me, now I can kind of like assess, okay, yo, this is what you need to do here. This is what you need to do here. You can kind of start to formulate a plan for yourself. That was the beginning part. Okay. Now more so, it's just about trying to just sustain the best mental state possible. There's a podcast that actually came out about Huberman Lab. This guy, Alex Huberman, I think his name is. He basically talked about the long-term effects on your brain from drinking. So they were talking about even if you have 1 to 3 drinks a day, it can still have long-term negative cognitive effects on you in the long run. Okay. So now it's more so of like, okay, I want to give myself longevity, so I just won't do it. Yeah. I like that. Thank you. That's really a good way to look at it. I never thought about it like that, you know? That's a good thing to keep in mind. For real. I know a few times, you know, we've had conversations about, you know, mental health and basically just, you know, outgrowing certain things and, you know, things like that. You've been on this healing journey for a while, right? Yeah. I just recently started a healing journey, like, thank you. October will be 1 year of me being celibate. Nice. So I'm excited for that. That was like my first little thing, but during that time I really learned a lot about myself. Do you feel like your sobriety has helped you with that too? I know you said it gave you like a clear mind. I think I learned a lot about me, and I learned a lot about just my interactions and dealings with people in general, I notice like if I'm drinking, I'm more likely to not be, how do I say it? Like, I'm not really the talking person. Like, if I know you, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
But like I realized when I was drinking, like it's almost like you become a character, right? So removing that, I was just able to see, okay, well, all right, I don't really like this person, but we hang out. It could be like, we grew up together. I don't really like you, but you know, we get drunk on the weekends, you know what I'm saying? And then we hang out with the same people, and it's just like, but we hate each other. Or we're like, not we hate each other, but like we've grown apart.
Yeah.
But like when you're drinking, or when you're, even like you said in your situation, if you're like, you're sleeping with someone, like your vision or your mental can be clouded by that. And your judgment can be clouded by that. And like once that's not there, it's like, okay, well.
Yeah, once you take that part out of it, it's just me. Exactly. So,
I would say it definitely has helped me all across the board. But more so, it's just like my mental clarity is way better, and I can't not deal with shit.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I can't come home and have a drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Suppress the emotions. That's a huge thing. I feel like a lot of people do that, like subconsciously, like, you know, because I've definitely been there, and that's what I've been trying to work on too with myself, because, you know, doing all this, it definitely gave me a clear mind and made me realize like certain habits that I had that I didn't necessarily like, and even just like surrounding myself with people who just like don't deserve my energy or don't deserve, so like me protecting my energy like lately has just been really good for me, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like you could relate to that, because I feel like you're the same type of person. You're always like, every time I do see you, I don't know, you're just like, you have this glow to you, but like you also just like stay to yourself, and you're just like, you know, you're there, you're having fun, but it's like, you know, if you don't feel like being there no more, like you gonna leave. And I like that though, because protecting your peace is major. Like that's really an important thing in life in general, you know. But I know mental health is important to you. You advocate for that through everything. I feel like you do, and I respect that a lot. I really do. And it's also like inspiring to see just the way you carry yourself and everything. I definitely just really respect that and admire that.
Yeah. And I think just to say, like, touch on the mental health piece, like I went through a time where I was having like a bunch of panic attacks, and this is around the time I stopped drinking. I was having all these panic attacks, and I could not figure out like, why am I having these panic attacks?
Right.
And like I was like really depressed, and it was just fucking up all my relationships with people. Like I was angry at everybody. I was just grumpy all the time. And then when I stopped drinking, like a little bit after I stopped drinking, I started taking like antidepressants. Okay. And I'm like, okay, let me give this a shot. But when I took them, I didn't care about anything. So like, I will say this. I thoroughly believe when I was taking those shits, my mother could have died, and I would have just been like, whatever. Oh, wow. Like it was to the point where I had no happiness or sadness. It was just like everything was just whatever. Everything was just whatever, and that scared me a lot. And then once I realized that, I was like, okay, like you got to figure out a different approach. And I remember I was like, okay, what can I do if I'm not going to take these, right? What can I do if I do have panic attacks, right? And I'm not taking like whatever they give you, like benzos and shit like that. Like what can I do? So that's when I started like just trying to figure out, okay, new ways to do things, or new ways to approach whatever situation. Like if I am anxious, I'll go figure out how to deal with this in whatever setting it is. Or if I am depressed, go fucking talk to somebody, because you can't just like sit in this and allow this to keep festering and keep going on, because it's gonna just destroy you in the long run.
Wow. Not everybody's gonna be able to do that. Take themselves off of the medication and find a way to, you know, get through it, you know, without leaning on that. I know that takes a lot. I mean, I have depression and I go through my emotions and things like that, and I am a big person. Like I don't want to take medication. I don't want that to happen to me, you know.
If you don't need it, don't take it.
And sometimes I am like, damn, maybe I should, you know, go get seen and like get, you know, some kind of something to help me through this. But then also times I'm like, I can do this by myself. There's other ways, you know, and whatever works for you works for you. You know what I mean? No shade to anybody, you know. But that's amazing. I never knew that. That's I know it's probably not easy at first to find, you know, what works for you, but it's all trial and error.
It's all trial and error.
Honestly. But what's some advice that you would give to somebody who is struggling to get through like anything mental health related or just motivation, inspiration in general? Like what has helped you?
What has helped me? I'll say there's a bunch of things that have helped me. I will say move is one. Get your ass up, move around, go take a walk, go run, go exercise, move. That's like the first thing I would tell you. If you're stuck in a rut mentally, move. Because when you're moving, it allows your brain to just flow freely and not necessarily be so focused on specific things that come to mind. But when you're sitting, like everything will just, you know, your brain will just get flooded. When you're moving, it allows you to me, sort through your thoughts better. So one, I would say move. Two, I would say look at what you're eating, because sometimes what you're eating can have effects on you mentally. Learn a new skill. Learn something that's hard, right? Learn something that's going to challenge you, because it'll constantly give you something to work towards. That way you're not stuck in, once again, being stuck in a, well, I'm not moving forward, I'm not making progress. If you learn a new skill, you can see how day 1 goes versus day 90 or day 100 or day 365. You can kind of see gradual progress. Look for something to work towards. I would also say some new hobbies. Like, go try shit. And if you don't like it, put it down, right? Try different shit. Move. Try new shit. Try hard shit.
Challenge yourself.
Yeah, challenge yourself.
Yeah,
work towards something, because you'll feel so much better than, oh, I just sat around all day and ate chips. And
Exactly. Watch TV and lazy. I mean, you do have those days where you just don't feel like doing nothing, whatever. But me, like, for me, I get stuck in those ruts. Like, if I take a whole day to not be productive, sometimes, you know, you do need rest and everything. Like, I get that, but I get lazy. So if I'm not working towards something, like, or if I'm not like writing down my goals and trying to achieve like new things or challenge myself, I will get stuck in that little rut and I won't come out for a long time. And so I think that's very important. That's really good advice. I really like that. Taking care of yourself mentally is definitely a huge part of the process, but how does that play into your creative process?
I will say, if your mind is clear, I think it just allows, because if you are creative in any form, I feel like you're a vessel. I don't necessarily feel like what you create comes from you. It comes from experiences. It could come from, hey, Steph told me this story, and I make this sound like this is me experiencing it, but it's not. And it's usually, to me, like when you're able to sort through your thoughts and you're able to clear out your mind, you're able to allow more information in, so then you can, okay, take this and like, all right, this is something that I could write something about, or this is something that I could draw something about, or I could channel this through pictures or whatever. So I think it allows you to just allow more emotions in, and it allows you to just be able to create more freely when your mind is clear and you're in a better headspace.
Have an open mind about everything. I noticed that sometimes you like to take time off from social media. Is that part of helping you mentally? Like, what is that like for you? Because I've actually never taken a break from social media, like, ever, since I've started.
I would say it's not easy, but it's like a necessary evil. Like, if I'm off of there, nothing matters, right? Like, the only thing that matters is what is happening in real time. And they say, like, social media is not real life, but we're in this world where, like, it's like this hybrid between a digital you and then an in-person you. And everybody's digital version is like they're almost like their little Avi character. It's always different from the in-person you. And I think it's because you're influenced by the things that you see. On social media, and my fucking explore page is just titties, ass, and fucking I don't know, just tits, tits, ass, what else? Clothes. Like, it's like all superficial shit. But I feel like when I took time off and got away from it, I realized, like, that shit don't matter. Like, one, I'm never gonna see these people. Yeah. Like, two, these people don't matter. And so, like, my mind or our lives are intertwined with other people that don't really exist in our lives. Yeah. And so it's just kind of like,
facts.
Get off that shit and go live. Go have real life experiences with people.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that.
Yeah.
It makes me want to take a break from social media. I really do want to. But like with me, I feel like,
excuses.
I feel like I know. I just always felt like I need to like,
why?
Promote and like this and that, you know, because I'm like doing the videos and stuff like that. But honestly, I really could just make YouTube videos for real and just like grow from there.
You could do that.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I do feel like I waste a lot of my time on social media, you know, trying to keep up with trends and like trying to, you know, do this. My Explore page not full of titties and ass, but
mine isn't anymore. It was at one time.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's real. That's real. Like, I know a lot of people can probably relate to that, you know. But
doom scrolling, you're on that shit all day.
Yeah. It takes a lot of your time. Like, be present. That's what I've been trying to work on too, like being more present. And you're right, like we get full of all these people that like we would never even see in real life. Like we don't even interact with, you know what I mean? So it's like, what's the point? You mentioned about having a clear space and helping you with your creative process and taking like real life situations and experiences. So do you think a lot of your writing process involves your experiences or people's experiences that you know, do interact with?
My experiences, it didn't. I think now as I'm older, like I like to make music that's fun, kind of carefree. But now like I'm starting to get into stuff where I'm having conversations about things that people have said to me or things that I've experienced and I'm talking about it. And it kind of started like during the pandemic, like I'm trapped in the house. I bought a laptop, I bought a microphone, I bought an interface. And I just recorded all these songs and kept writing. There was like at one point in time where I was writing something every day.
Wow.
And like I realized that my music started to take a turn and I started to talk about situations that happened to me. But if I give this song to somebody else, you don't know that this happened to me. Or if I don't make it seem like it's happening to me or it's happened to me, you don't know what is going on.
Right.
So it didn't, but it does now.
Okay.
It does now. Yeah, I would say it does now. I say almost all of it comes from either conversations or some type of situation that somebody was in and it's like, oh, boom, this is it. And then I'll ask people questions. But you'll never know, like, cause I won't say, oh, Steph told me this.
No, right,
in the song.
Yeah, no, of course.
Like, oh, I heard you say this.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna write a song about like this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, just like when we were at Dom's listening party and I think you asked her, or someone asked her about her writing, like, was it from her experience? And she's like, no, it's from my friends, you know? So I'm like, I'm new to all this, you know? I'm not a writer. I don't write. I don't make music and things like that. So to hear that, it's really interesting because I can't imagine writing from someone else's point of view. But it's possible. And it is like, music is an art. So yeah, you are like able to get into character and things just like as if you're acting like in a movie or whatever. So I think that's really dope to know that it comes from your experiences mostly is awesome too, because we get to see that part of you, you know what I mean, and experience that with you kind of, you know? When did you start writing? Like you just randomly picked up a pen one day and was like, let me just write some shit down.
So I would write, like, it started off with poems. And then it started like, I started making music around like 2009, 2010. Oh, wow. Then I did the group thing for a while. And then when that was done, from like 2015 till like 2017, maybe 2018, I kind of just was like, whatever. But I was interested in songwriting. And around like 2016, I went out to Indianapolis for a music conference and I was interested in songwriting, but I didn't know like, okay, how am I gonna do it? And so like, big shout outs to his artist name is Bo Emerson, but my boy John, because he was at Cam's house and I hadn't seen him for like a couple years he was at Cam's house one day, and I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm interested in writing for people. And this was at like 2019. It's like, I'm interested in writing for people. He's like, bro, just start with me. So like I started with him. Then like me and Dom started doing a couple things, and then it was like the world shut down. And then I was like, okay, well, what do I do?
Right.
I don't have anybody to give these songs to, but that whole entire time that we were in our house, I was just practicing. So it was like, I would say 2019 is the start of me writing, being what I would say a writer.
A writer.
Right. But that's so new. So even like now, I feel like I've gotten good at it. But even still, I'm like, yo, I'm so new to this that I can only imagine what this would look like at 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Like how good I can actually get if I keep working at it.
Yeah, it takes practice for sure. Everything does. That's dope though. So how was it being in a group and then transitioning to being a solo artist? Was that a hard transition?
I don't know if necessarily feel like it was hard, because we all, even though I was in a group, we all have our own individual identities. So like doing stuff on my own, it was just like, okay, this works, this does, just kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't. It was almost like learning how to be a creative again, because now I have more control over everything. Like I don't have to parlay and ask other people for their opinions. Like my success and failure is kind of all on me. But I would say in some ways it was like starting over, but in other ways it was just like, this is just the natural evolution of you. So now it's just, you got to do a little bit more work as opposed to relying on other people to kind of carry certain parts of the weight of doing things. I think even now that even though I'm not in a group, if you listen to my songs, there's always features. Because I still kind of create like that, where I like want other people to come in and do verses, because I feel like that was how it kind of started. And so like, if I can't do something where I feel like you can do, or somebody can do something better, here you go. I'm gonna fucking let you do it.
There you go.
Like, no reason for me to be 3 verses on a song like that. No, like this shit's mad repetitive. I'll break this shit up and I'll let somebody else do something.
That's dope.
Thank you.
So your new project, does it have a lot of features on it?
Does it have a lot of features on it? No. Wow. So I say there's multiple projects in the works, but like, I would say there's not a lot of features, but it's a collective. So I have people that came in and wrote with me.
Gotcha.
And like I said, once again, I just delegated. Like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do here. So I just quarterbacked it. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna lay down all these melodies. This is what I want to talk about. So I got other people that write, got them to come in, give me some ideas. I'll let them do the hook. I'll let them even have their own verses on there, like, and just rock like that. So on one of my projects that's gonna come, there isn't a lot of features. It's one feature, and then the other one that's probably gonna follow is gonna be like my normal creative process, where I have somebody else do the hook and somebody else do a second verse on there. So, yeah, it's gonna be a combination.
So you never know what to expect with him, okay?
Yeah. It's a dice roll. It depends how I feel.
That's good though. You gotta keep us on our toes, you know what I mean? You can't just keep giving out the same stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true.
So that's dope. That's really different. I love that. I love it. So do you consider yourself more, like, what's your goal? Like, do you want to write for people, or do you want to make your own music, or both?
First it was, I want to write for people. It was like, I was like, oh, I'm getting older. Nobody gives a fuck about what I have to say. That's what my thinking was first. So I was like, if I write for people, it can allow me to be creative and also maybe make some money off of what I do. But then I realized, unless you're at the top of the top, there's no money in songwriting.
Right.
So I was like, okay, even if I don't get to the top of the top, what can I do, right? So like, I was kind of like, all right, I'll just create these songs and try to give them to people. But then I was like, you know what? All right, I'll bet on myself now. Like, I've tried to chase after placements and chase after giving artists this song, but I've never really bet on me individually. Yeah, like you said, I put 1 song out here, 2 songs out here. I have 3 songs on DSPs, but I was like, I have so much more music that's just sitting around. So now it's like, I'm just in whatever the best case scenario is. If this means that this song has to go to someone else, then so be it. If this means that G's gonna run with this one, then so be it. Like, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So it's not that I have a end goal in mind of writer or artist. It's just that when it's time to go in this direction, I'll go that direction. When it's time to go in this one, I'll go in that one.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Versatile. Yep. Wow, I'm learning so much about you. I feel like we never sat and talked, you know,
and
about
I don't talk
any
much.
of this.
Like,
So.
I'm not. I feel like I'm. If you know me, you know me. But like, and I'll talk. But like you said, I'll fucking leave in a heartbeat.
Right.
I'm very. I have.
Well, I'm
only
glad
child
you ain't leave
syndrome.
yet.
I have only child syndrome, so I'm so used to being by myself, especially as a kid, that I'm just like, I always go into my corner, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of hide out. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced writer's block?
Yeah, but that shit doesn't exist. Like,
No?
if you don't have anything to write about, to me, it's like you're not living or you're not experiencing life.
Okay.
So to me, writer's block is just you not doing what you should do, which is take a break. Go have a conversation with somebody. Go take a trip. Go have a new experience.
Experience something, right.
I think that's where writer's block comes in. But when I get that way, that means like it's time to stop. It's time to shut it down. It's time to take a couple weeks off. Because I try to do every day, but it's hard. And then
you don't want to force it.
Yeah, you don't want to force it.
Right.
Exactly. If there's nothing there, just leave.
Yeah.
And then come back to it later.
There you go. And that's that. A few months ago, you went to a writing.
Yeah, I went to a writing camp in Atlanta. That was cool. I will say, if I never do it again, I had one of the best experiences.
That's good.
I got to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
I got to see what it's like to work fast paced, and I don't necessarily work fast paced.
Okay.
I move slowly when I work.
Right.
So it was good to work at a different clip. Plus, I think the records that came out of that camp were fucking amazing. And we kind of wrote it like with the intentions of getting it placed in TV shows and in movies, TV shows and film and all that. So it was definitely a great experience. I would do it again. Like I said, I had a great time. I would say if there's any negatives to it is there's a lot of moving parts. So like it's very easy to get lost in that because everybody's kind of, you could be in a room with 5 people.
Right.
Not every camp is the same. For example, we had to sign split sheets, and split sheets basically is like a record, there's 100% of a song, right?
Okay.
So 50% goes to producer, 50% goes to the writers.
Right.
So when you sign a split sheet, the producers get their percentage, the writers get their percentage. So if it's 5 writers, 5 of us are splitting 50%.
Oh.
So yeah. It's kind of hard to kind of, like, it doesn't matter how much work you do in that instance because you're all getting the same percentage.
Gotcha.
But there are instances where people will write down every word somebody said, and it's like, oh, you get 5, you get 10, I get 20, like that kind of shit.
Okay.
And that's where it can get a little complicated.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. I would do it again. I enjoyed Atlanta. I would move there.
Really?
Yeah, I would move there.
Okay. A lot of artists say that.
Yeah.
Every time I, talk to somebody that's been out there for anything like that.
The creative energy is crazy because everybody is trying to do the same thing. So it's just like you're bound to bump elbows with somebody who is going to help you get better, or you're bound to bump into somebody who's moving and shaking in that world.
Right.
And they'll help you meet another person and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's good. It's good to network. That's very important. I'm glad you had that experience. Dang, I feel like we answered a lot of this. Hold on.
That's cool. We can freestyle too.
You said you want to do a freestyle? No, I'm just kidding. I'm about to start doing that for real. You know how they do that in the interviews? Hold on, let me get a beat for you real quick.
Ask you a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Are you still a fan of YG?
I am.
Is he ever gonna get good again? That nigga sucks.
Hey, yo, stop.
His,
I really don't know. I really don't.
His My Crazy Life album is one of the best albums I've ever heard.
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything like that since.
No.
Nope. I know.
Same with Mustard.
I know.
They need to go back and do what's right.
I know. I agree with you. He's just like someone that I find very attractive. It's like that's more of he's not like my favorite artist or anything. Okay. You know what I mean?
You're
like he can put something out and I'm gonna like it just because I like him. You know what I mean? But it's not like, I'm not like, oh damn, this shit hard. Like I haven't felt like that in a long time, like with his music. But when I hear his voice, I'm like, oh yeah, like that's my baby. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it is. Like it's not really, you know, I wouldn't say he's my favorite artist or anything like that. I just kind of take it and run with it because people will be laughing and shit when I'm, you know, talking about him and shit. That's my husband, like knowing damn well, that's never gonna happen. I wouldn't even want it to happen, bro. It's just a fantasy, like. That's funny. I didn't really.
I'm gonna interview you.
Okay, wait, I'm not done with you yet. Oh, all right, okay. I'm not done with you, but okay, go ahead.
So.
We'll close out with you.
What have you felt like you've gained from being celibate?
Wow. I feel like the same thing. It made me have a clear headspace. Okay, we're going to take it back a couple years. I was in a relationship for 3.5 years, lived with each other and all that stuff, you know. That was about 7 years ago. We broke up. And I never allowed myself to fully heal from that. So fast forward, the past 7 years has all been, I feel like, me trying to find happiness in other people. Yeah. So I didn't realize I was doing that though. So I would allow myself to, you know, have these people come into my life and into my house, into my home, and into my bed, and you know what I'm saying, things like that, for no reason. Like it would just, it didn't even have to be like a real connection, but like in my head I would like romanticize everything. So I'm a Pisces. I'm like I like
When's your birthday?
March 17th.
That's why I like you.
Oh, what's it?
My mom's a Pisces.
Oh, really?
Yes.
When's her birthday?
March 2nd.
Wow, okay. Yeah, March babies.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. I get
Wait.
it.
So, what are you? A
Libra.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Psychotic.
Okay. I feel like I just really didn't value myself.
Yeah.
I didn't value myself in that relationship either.
Yeah.
That relationship was very toxic, and I felt like that's all I really knew. So after that, I just kept going to toxic situations, and you know, just trying to make something out of nothing, basically. And I would wrap myself up and involve myself with people, and not just even men, like scratch the celibacy thing, scratch the having sex, whatever, like even friendships. I just didn't value myself. I didn't really take care of myself. I was trying to do for others more than for myself. And honestly, 7 years of that is a really long time. To not even try to even break those habits or break that cycle. I would be like in like little situationships and stuff that would never go anywhere because I just kept allowing toxic shit to happen, you know, without getting into too much detail. So with me being celibate, it made me realize that I don't need anybody else to make me happy. I need to learn how to make myself happy, and I need to take care of myself and worry about myself and, you know, put myself first, because that's something that I've really never done before, up until this year, really. Even my first like 3 months of not having sex, like I would still like want to text people that I knew I shouldn't be texting, like, oh, like, dang, like, oh, I'm trying. Yeah, it was like a distraction from life in general, probably. Like, I don't know. So I'm still learning. Even after my year is up, I still want to continue this because I don't feel fulfilled in it yet. I think that I just needed to take a break from everything, and it just made me really learn things about myself and bad habits, and just trying to break those bad habits. Like, I've learned so much. I don't know. It's just so much to all put into one answer, really.
Got you.
But basically, I don't know. I'm working on it.
I asked that question because I've done that before. Like, I've not had sex for extended periods of time. And I've gone deeper into it with other people about how long I've done it before. But one of the biggest things that I've took away from just me kind of doing a lot of work on myself this year is like, yo, if you want loyalty has an expiration date. And I remember I saw Steve Harvey say that, and I was like, that is so true. But I realized, like, if you want loyalty, go buy a dog, right? If you want love, give it to yourself. Because you can't expect that from other people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of any relationship is based off opportunity, right? So when you stop providing a certain opportunity for someone, the novelty of things wears off. You can easily be disposable, right? But if you go and you hone in on you and you give everything that you want to give to you, you're so much better. My therapist told me, like, she said, don't give what you'll need back. Because if you need it back, that means you didn't have it to give in the first place.
That's true.
So, like,
that's really...
if you give to yourself unconditionally, you will find, like, a whole new world will open up to you.
Yeah.
You'll start to experience, not that the type of people you attract are going to be different immediately, right? No. But you'll start to have people that you'll come across that'll be way better for you,
right?
Even if it's for 6 months, 3 months, or a year, or 5 years, or 10 years,
right?
Like, those experiences will be way more enjoyable, and you'll know, okay, this has to end, and that's completely fine, and you won't find yourself in that cycle, because I think we all do it. Like, we've all done it.
Yeah.
Like, we stayed in places we shouldn't have been in way too long. But when you, like you said, when you isolate and you figure out, okay, this is what I need, you feel like 10 times better.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I'm learning that, actually. It's really just been a process, honestly. It really has. But I was definitely giving to people when I didn't have it for myself. So, and not just like financially, like my energy.
Yeah.
My energy.
Yeah.
You know, energy transfers are real.
Yeah.
I believe in that. Like, I was, who you lay in bed with and do all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I would just feel a lot of negative energy all the time. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's so draining. And I'm like the type of person to just, you know, do for others naturally. It just happens, you know. I just like to do that. It's kind of like a love language, I guess. But if it's not being reciprocated, it's going to drain you very, very fast. So that was another thing, too, like, that I had learned about myself. I'm like, I didn't even realize I was doing that, you know? I didn't even realize. Like, I just was out here just trying to live my best life. And really, I'm just like, you know, I don't know. It's just so much. It's so much. It's so much. I feel like I'm not all the way still doing things for myself. Like,
Why not?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
You know, I'm working on it. It's just sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, oh, dang, like, come on, we come so far. Like, you know, for me, I was always the person that if I've messed with somebody or something, like, we was just always still friends.
Yeah.
So, like, they could come back into town or whatever the case may be, and they know that they can hit me up and I'm gonna be right there. Oh, I'll pick you up from the airport. Yeah, I'm gonna come. Yeah, you can stay with me. Yeah, even if I didn't even really want them there. You know what I'm saying? Or I would do things sexually or whatever, even if I didn't really want to. I just would do it because it's like, oh, we always do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like this is what we do. Like, and I'm tired of doing that. So I stopped, and once I stopped, I saw all of those people were not here anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Now they're mad because I wasn't there for them, and I didn't pick them up from the airport. I didn't let them stay at my crib or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely showed me a lot with as far as people in my life too. And it also allows me to be more present for myself and for the people that actually are here for me, that are meant to be in my life, you know, all my friends and stuff. I kind of was like neglecting all of that too. You know, I would just prioritize like the man, you know, that I was dealing with. Then my friends, and then me. Yeah. It's like, no.
Me first.
I'm here. This is where I need to be. Everybody else come after that, you know? So, yeah, it's definitely a learning experience for sure. Yeah. And it wasn't like one thing that just made me be like, oh, I don't want to have sex anymore. Yeah. Like, that wasn't the thing. It's obviously I want to have sex. Like, I mean, naturally we just but it's just so much more than that, you know? I'm enjoying trying to get back to me after so long.
Kudos to you. I'm proud.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's great. I'm actually really proud of you, because there's some people that'll spend the rest of their life in that cycle, and they'll look up
and they'll be 40 years old, 50 years old,
mm-hmm.
and they'll have nothing for themselves. Not that you are defined by, you know, what you have, but you know you want things for yourself. You want the best thing for yourself. And there's people that'll just spin their wheels their
mm-hmm.
entire lives. They'll
mm-hmm.
look up and they'll be 50 years old and they'll be like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
facts. And I believe as far as relationships go, you need to feel, you don't have to be necessarily 100%, I guess. You know, there are people that you can grow with and build with and things like, and heal together, I mm-hmm. guess. But for me, I don't feel that right now.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to entertain anything if I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
You know, I can't give you anything right now because I'm giving it all to myself.
Yeah.
And that's just what I need to do. And, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's just, that's just what needs to happen right now, you know? So, until I feel like, okay, like, because, I mean, I'm still not even, like, working on myself physically yet. Like, I haven't even gone to the gym and things like that I still need to do, or meal prep and do, you know, eat healthier and stop, you know, smoking. I smoke too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, I still have a lot that I need to work on personally before I can even see myself actually being with somebody. So I feel like the whole time I was screaming, oh, I want a relationship. I want a relationship. Well, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Why is none of this working? Nobody, But it's like, you know, I'm not even holding myself accountable. Like, it's me too. It's not, it's, you know, I'm attracting these people because of how I hold myself accountable for things and value myself. So, yeah, until I feel that, then I'll be open to wanting to try again, you know? So, and it's gonna be a little while.
So good.
Little while now.
So good. I would say there's no time limit on anything. Like, people have like specific things in mind about, you know, what they want. But there's no time limit to anything. Like, we put the timetables on ourselves.
Facts.
Like, you don't have to put a time limit on yourself.
No.
Like, you know, let's say you wanted a family and you were like, oh, I'm going to start a family at 40. That might be a lot harder to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing, too, because I just turned 30 this year. So I felt the pressure, like, damn, hold on. I'm only, like, 6 months in right now. Like, and I don't even, you know what I mean? Like, and I want to have kids. I want to have a family. I want to be married, you know, eventually. So I'm like, I started to feel the pressure, but I mean, I'm still young. Like, I'm 30, but it's like, I don't know, the next 5 years after that, I don't know if I'm gonna want to do it, you know?
That's real.
Because it's, at this point now I'm 35, I'm about to reach 40, you know? So there are things that I just need to get in order too, I guess, but there is no time limit. So if I'm not meant to be in a relationship then, or be married, or have kids by then so be it.
Yeah.
It's, you know, at this point, I'm just taking it for what it is. Taking life day by day. That's all we can do.
That is very true.
You know?
That's very true.
But before this cuts us off again, we talked about growth. We talked about all the things that you accomplished. But what's one thing that you're most proud of that you've accomplished musically?
Musically that I accomplished? This past year, I got like my first placement.
Wow.
And it was in a video game, like a bigger placement where I got paid for. It was in a video game. And the thing that I loved about it is like the song that we made, like we made this song in I think like 2013 or 2012. And like we went out to LA at that time. We like did all this stuff. Like we signed a deal with this little small independent label. Like not that we thought our lives were going to change like that, but we thought like we were going to get a lot more out of it than we did. And I think what we did get out of it was lessons. But the coolest thing was like we got something out of it financially, and it was kind of like a full circle moment. It was kind of like, yo, all this work that you've done in a group and now by yourself is paid off. And it showed me like, oh, okay, I can do this. Like, I can make money off of music. I can do things for myself and attain things. And that shit it might not be overnight, because this shit was not overnight. But like the things you want to achieve creatively is possible, especially once you put the shit out there. Like, you can't control what happens with it once you put it out there. It's just like, you do the work, you'll be rewarded for it. And it might not be tomorrow, but you're eventually going to be rewarded for the work that you do. So that was like, I think the coolest thing that's happened. Like, I feel like I've done more, a lot more creatively this past year specifically. But that was like the icing on the cake. It's like, okay, like, yeah, bro, you finally have gotten some type of reward for. And it's crazy because it was like I did all this stuff to kind of go to Atlanta last minute, and I was like, fuck, I don't have the bread. And then I made some things happen, and then it was like, boom. As soon as I got back home, I got paid. So it was just like, all right.
That's amazing.
This was definitely worth it. So it was. I was grateful for it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that. I love that. And last but not least, if you could say something to your younger self, what would you say?
Life is hard as fuck, but like if you don't give up on yourself, like you're gonna have so many great experiences. It's gonna hurt sometimes, and some things aren't gonna make sense, but like if you don't give up, you'll always get somewhere. You'll go somewhere. You'll always prosper if you just keep trying. Like just keep trying. Don't stop. Don't give up. Take breaks when you need to, but don't give up. That's what I would tell my younger self. Don't give up.
That's it, and that's all.
Period.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this hookah hour. Thank you, G, for coming. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys give me a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you know every single time that I post. Make sure you click the links down below in the description to check out his music and follow up with him. And yeah, you got anything else you want to say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you as well. Thank you.
All right, thanks for tuning in, y'all. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Me and you, just me and you,